New information now. No charges will be filed against a man who accidentally shot his 8-year-old son. It is hot. It is humid. The air is unstable. A perfect recipe for severe weather. Yeah, it's been just a little over 3 hours now since the tornado touched down right where I'm standing. New information on the deadly concrete collapse at the O'Donnell Park parking garage. A concrete slab fell off last month, killing a 15-year-old boy. The slab was not installed correctly. Yeah. That nonprofit is dedicated to helping young people dealing with self-injury, addiction, depression, and even suicide. Wisconsin averages roughly 44,000 drunk driving arrests each year, while other states with similar population numbers average only 30,000. Pressure testing will take 48 hours once that new cap is fully in place. Breaking news now. We told you a moment ago about the federal courthouse downtown being evacuated because of a suspicious package.
Yeah, Heather Shannon joins us live.
It sounds like it's a lot tenser than so many of these things are. You and I have both been at these events when the police are all there, but nobody seems terribly concerned about what's going on. Give us a sense of how tense everybody is. This isn't just any kid. This is my new Courtney. I traded in this Courtney for this Courtney. Her name is Courtney Fox. She's 4 years old. She lives in Brookfield, and her brother and sister are with us, too. We got Jacob. And we've also got Kaylee. Breaking news update now from Oak Creek, a neighborhood there back to normal after a police standoff. Police tell us they have a 32-year-old man in custody. Less than a week to go until the statewide smoking ban begins. Local restaurants are already making preparations to go smoke-free. Sound off time now. Every day on Live at 3, we tackle one of the day's big issues with a man whose mood has improved markedly since the Brewers pitching staff started channeling Cy Young. Jeff, you can call me Giovanni Wagner. JS on air now. President Obama set to visit southeast Wisconsin tomorrow, and that's bringing back memories of a presidential visit for one local man.
Jim Stingle of the Journal-Sentinel joins us, and he's now accused of having sex with a 14-year-old girl.
As Heather Shannon reports, she told police they had sex almost a dozen times and that he got her pregnant. Now, a spokesperson for the Milwaukee Fire Department tells us Johnson is suspended with pay until the investigation into the case is complete. More news now. Police in Slinger on the hunt for a jewelry thief. The thief stole $90,000 worth of jewelry.
And her reputation's damaged, too, she says. Yeah. Well, then she shouldn't have stolen.
Yeah. I think we're burying the lead here.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, really.
I think the real story is we now have Hang 'em High Willow on the panel.
Absolutely. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome.
I think the difference between Brett Favre and Lance Armstrong is decisiveness. I mean, Brett Favre right now is you know, we all know he's coming back, but he just doesn't want to go to training camp, and so he's playing this indecisive game. But I don't know. I love it when old guys are continuing to compete. Last week we had Jamie Moyer, pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies, 47 years old, pitch a complete game, victory. You know, and I love Brett Favre at his age, still playing NFL football. I'm cheering these guys. Breaking news now. We told you a moment ago about the federal courthouse downtown being evacuated because of a suspicious package.
Yeah, Heather Shannon joins us live.
It sounds like it's a lot tenser than so many of these things are. You and I have both been at these events when the police are all there, but nobody seems terribly concerned about what's going on. Give us a sense of how tense everybody is.
Yeah, that's definitely not the case this time.
What's fascinating to me, Heather, is you said they haven't evacuated the entire building, yet they're keeping you know, a quarter of a mile away from things. It defies logic.
And that's where, when I talked to her, and I said, really? You say half of the employees in the southern half of the building are still in there?
New information now. No charges will be filed against a man who accidentally shot his 8-year-old son. Police say Jerome Addison Sr. was taking a rifle out of its case when it went off, killing his son, Jerome Jr. Summer storms rolled through southeast Wisconsin last night. Residents in Washington County were on edge. Torrential downpours in West Bend happened first, then
about 20 minutes later, those tornado sirens went off.
Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett had another surgery on his hand today. It is expected to be the last surgery he'll have to endure. Now to the disaster in the Gulf. BP began testing pressure on its gushing oil well today. Today's tests come after BP successfully placed a new cap and seal on the gushing wellhead yesterday. There is a new campaign to prevent co-sleeping.
Mike Jacobs is in the newsroom with a preview of a story new at 5.
Brewers fever now, and while most of the team's relaxing during this all-star break, Corey Hart was trying to become the second straight Brewer to win the Home Run Derby. 4 on your side now. Are you getting emails or tweets about a loved one stranded abroad? Watch out. It's probably a scam. So how can you protect your email account from being hacked in the first place?
Sure, we'll update your virus protection software.
We may be looking at scorching conditions for the weekend.
But will we see any rain in the near future? Scott Steele's here with your forecast. New information on the deadly concrete collapse at the O'Donnell Park parking garage. A concrete slab fell off last month, killing a 15-year-old boy. the slab was not installed correctly.
Yeah, now other county facilities are being checked. A family loses everything after their home burns.
But they are thankful to be alive. Diane Pathieu reports from Grafton. ESPN reporter Erin Andrews is suing the Marriott International hotel chain. Well, she stole millions to fund her lavish shopping sprees.
Mike Jacobs in the newsroom with a preview of a story new at 5 tonight.
Well, the village of Eagle starting to bounce back after last month's tornado.
The twister damaged or destroyed dozens of homes.
Meanwhile, here it's just 127 degrees. Other than that, everything's fine.
Feels like it, but I'm so glad we have summer this year.
The I-Team goes to bat for a toddler fighting a rare disease.
His family's insurance company won't pay for the one thing that keeps him alive.
George Clooney faced a judge in Italy today, but he's not in trouble.
Yeah, now he says his name was being used to take advantage of people to combat child labor abroad.
But it's happening right here in the Midwest. Dennis Murphy has a preview of a Dateline NBC investigation. You can watch the entire year-long investigation, America Now, Children of the Harvest. It airs Sunday night on Dateline NBC right here on today's TMJ4. But it will take a few days before experts can tell if the cap is a permanent fix. Jay Gray reports. Just to recap, pressure testing will take 48 hours once that new cap is fully in place. But some animal rights activists say you should know about how they treat their pets as well. Susan Kim reports.
Personal trainer and health coach at the Wisconsin Athletic Club.
Now, today's question comes to us from Debbie. She's got an office job, sits at her desk all day. What can she do to get some type of workout? A lot of people can probably relate to this question. I'm thinking, wow, you got no time on either end of the day? Well, let's toss it over to Brian Goddard because what he's got to say does look good.
Does, especially, you know, we're having a nice summer. Smart things you need to do with your smartphone is growing.
That's because losing it now may be worse than it used to be. Here's NBC's Chris Clackham. Well, thanks so much for joining us today at 4.
There's more news ahead. I'm live at 4:30.
Yeah, it's been just a little over 3 hours now since the tornado touched down right where I'm standing. And you said it, it's amazing because most of Columbia County and all of Dodge County escaped rather unscathed. However, the Hendrickson's farm, as you can see, was hit dead center. This is their machine shed behind me. All of the damage here notwithstanding, nobody in the family was hurt. They've got an extensive dairy operation here. None of the livestock hurt. Obviously, we took some pictures just before the sun set. Let's now take a look at that. The storm flattened the Hendrickson's machine shed, throwing debris everywhere. But remarkably, nobody on this busy dairy farm was hurt.
I opened the barn door and it threw me back in the barn. And I hightailed it to the house even though I was hardly moving because it was pushing me back further than I could go forward. And I hit the house door the same time my husband had my granddaughter by the arm, but her feet weren't even on the ground. She was just flying behind him. No small number of miracles here at the Hendrickson farm. The roof literally torn off of this calf barn, but the livestock inside, just fine. Seemingly everyone in this corner of Columbia County saw the twister.
And I looked over my shoulder and I saw the clouds were going around in a circle, and all of a sudden I saw one drop down. It came back up.
And when it came back down, Chris Hendrickson shot this foggy video of the storm. Neighbors who endured a tornado 2 years ago came running.
When you've had damage like that done to you, it's the most horrible feeling in the world. You don't know where to start, you don't know what to do, and you just pray that somebody comes in.
And that's why they came running, as did so many other neighbors. And it was just about 2 years ago that a tornado hit just a few miles from here. So many people in the region knew exactly what was happening as soon as they heard it. And I dare say just about everybody we've spoken to since arriving in this corner of Columbia County actually at some point or another saw the twister. Check back with me. We've got some more stuff we want to tell you about out here at this decidedly dramatic scene. For now, we are live in Columbia County. George Mallet, today's TMJ4 HD. And Mike, a source tells us that Milwaukee World Festival Summerfest has offered to pay for Jared Kellner's funeral. And in a statement, the family says they are moved beyond words by that generosity.
I love my son more than anything.
Still racked with grief, Dawn Kellner stood before a cluster of microphones Tuesday morning. She swallowed hard against the emotion welling up in her throat for one reason.
I wanted you to know the person that Jared was,
So it was very important to me that we came here today.
Jared Kellner's family returned to the scene just days after he was killed by a concrete slab that tumbled from the face of a lakefront parking deck. The boy's uncle had a long list of people to thank, including Milwaukee police.
Saying thank you is not enough for your kindness and compassion.
As investigators continued their inspection of the failed structure, Jared's family recalled his love of music and his humongous heart.
Jared always wished, he always wished the world was a kinder place. And today I'm just asking that people take time out to honor the memory of Jared by just being a little bit nicer today and a little bit more accepting.
Now, a memorial fund has been set up in Jared's name, and a portion of that money will go to the organization Right Love on Her Arms. That nonprofit is dedicated to helping young people dealing with self-injury, addiction, depression, and even suicide. It was very important to young Jared. We're live on the lakefront tonight. George Mallet, today's TMJ4 HD. You got it, Mike. In fact, I want to show you the picture over my shoulder right now because I think it tells you the story. The entire lakefront dotted with tents tonight, families camping out, enjoying a cool breeze off of Lake Michigan on a warm summer night. In just over 23 hours, the entire night sky here will be illuminated with a fantastic fireworks display. And clearly, a lot of folks came early to get a good spot. Frankly, we were a little concerned when we arrived here. We found these ladies putting up the same kind of tape the coppers use to mark off crime scenes. Turns out yellow tape is the best way to stake your lakefront claim.
The secret is to send someone ahead of time. If you have a load or you have a lot of people coming, the best thing is to send somebody ahead of time to stake out your area.
Which explains why Maria Trotter and her 6-month-old daughter Maima looked so lonely on the lakefront. Dad was back at the car fetching the tent and all the provisions. Craig and Al were having a difficult time with their high-tech, weather-resistant tent, but they're all set on supplies. I get the sense with you guys it's all about provisions. What did you bring?
Well, we got a little bit of everything. We've got soda, water, we got some beer.
Funny how he says some beer as though it was an afterthought.
Chips, hamburgers, hot dogs, the whole kit and caboodle.
Seems the fireworks are only part of the fun. The camping out with friends and family, the beer and burgers are just as important. Young Michelle sure thinks so.
It's like maximum on the fun because you get to hang out with your family and you get to stay outdoors.
I think maximum on the fun is a great way to describe what's happening here. More than 24 hours of fun punctuated by a climactic fireworks display tomorrow night. We're live on the lakefront. George Mallet, today's TMJ4 HD.